Hey, how's it going? My name is Gabby. Welcome back to my channel, and today I just randomly decided to start another Stephen King reading vlog. It's been some time since the last Stephen King reading vlog that I did. I think the last one that I did was Salem's Lot, which I read back in May, maybe, or June, I can't remember. But yeah, it's been a few months since the last Stephen King reading vlog, and I've had The Institute sitting on my shelves for so freaking long, and I just thought maybe now would be the perfect time to read this. Because as of right now, it is Sunday afternoon. I'm actually getting ready to leave for work in a few minutes, but this afternoon I had some time to read, and I was trying to read like a young adult contemporary book, and then I was trying to read this adult like literary fiction book, and I just can't get into either of them. And I just thought, you know, maybe I'm just in a reading slump, or maybe I just need to pick up something else. So then I randomly just decided to pick up The Institute this afternoon, and I'm now 86 pages into it. And so I just decided that I would be starting my next reading vlog for this book right now. Because as of right now, it's almost a week away from Summerween, like the Summerween readathon that I'm hosting with Olivia. It starts on the 24th, which is a week from tomorrow. So I thought it would be the perfect time to start this vlog because I could easily finish this book within a week. I'm pretty sure this book is kind of long. It's like a little bit over 550 pages, but I feel like for Stephen King length, it's not too long of a book, but for me length, it's kind of a long book. And I do think that this vlog is going to be full of spoilers, as I did with my last Stephen King reading vlog. I think for the Stephen King reading vlogs, it's more fun for me to do spoilery vlogs, and it's like the only real chance I'll ever get to talk about spoilers with these kinds of books. So this vlog will include spoilers, just warning you now. But if you haven't read this book and you want to know like what it's even about, basically, I don't really know a whole lot so far, but basically it's about this young boy Luke who is like 12 years old, and he's like super freaking smart, like a genius. Like his IQ is off the freaking charts, and he gets kidnapped and taken to this place called the Institute, where there's these like exceptionally gifted children. And it's very like Stranger Things vibes, I think, because like that's what I've heard about this book, is that it's kind of like Stranger Things, because I guess this kid Luke is gifted in a way that's kind of similar to Eleven on Stranger Things. At least that's what I'm getting from this. And so it's about all of these children at this place called the Institute. And I don't know if this book is considered horror or not. I think it is considered more like sci-fi maybe, and like thriller mystery kind of vibes. I don't really know the genre of this, to be honest. I'm thinking it is more like sci-fi is the genre. I didn't get too much of a chance to like update the beginning of this book because honestly, since I am kind of in a reading slump, I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to get very far into this book, but so far it's interesting. It was perfect timing too, because I was able to get the audiobook checked out from my library, so I've been like listening to the audiobook and reading the book kind of simultaneously this morning just to get me through it, because I don't know, like the beginning of the Stephen King books are always really hard for me to get into for some reason, because his writing is just so descriptive and dense, you know, usually, so it takes me like at least 30 to 40 pages to finally like get into the swing of his books usually. So the audiobook has definitely been helping me get through it. And I think it was interesting because part one of this book is just called The Night Knocker. And it's weird because like the first part of this book just follows that guy named Tim, he was like on a plane and he was supposed to be going to New York, and then he like ended up taking the voucher of like getting a free flight. And so he didn't end up going on the plane, and he was like hitchhiking trying to go to New York, but then he ended up in like South Carolina, and then he just ends up getting this job as this night knocker, whatever the hell that means. And so I think he's just in charge of like supervising things that are going on in the nighttime, because the town's police is like a really small police department. And then he does witness this terrible crime shooting thing that happens like right away, and so like that was pretty interesting in his section. But I was like, what the heck, like the first part of the book had nothing mentioned in the description of the book. Like the description of the book only tells you about the little boy Luke, like it doesn't even tell you about this guy Tim. So I was like, who the fuck is this? But now I feel like things are starting to come together, because I got to part two, The Smart Kid, which was on page like 41 or so, and now we're starting to get into the story of this kid Luke, who's like super smart. He kind of reminds me of the little boy from Imaginary Friend by Stephen Chbosky. Like it feels very similar to that, where like that little boy is like a genius. Like, and now I just hit part 3 of the book, which is called Shots for Dots. And these parts have been like very short so far, you know, because I am only 86 pages into this book right now, so I'm not too far in yet. But now I'm finally at the part where Luke is at the institute. Like, he just got kidnapped and taken to the institute, and he's just kind of like meeting all the kids right now in the institute. And I don't know, I'm very curious about this book. Like, I'm thinking this will be something that I'll enjoy. I'm just hoping it's not too much like Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children, like that kind of vibe, because I didn't really care for that book. But I do get a lot of Stranger Things vibes from this, and I don't know, like, so far it's really interesting. And I do have the audiobook, so I'm leaving for work right now, so I think I'm gonna listen to the audiobook on the way to work and just take the book with me so I can kind of like keep track of where exactly I'm at. But yeah, I'm excited. I'm starting another Stephen King reading vlog. We're all Walking Dead characters. I'm Maggie, Rachel's Beth. The Walking Bread. Josh is Morgan. Obed's Rick. Johnny's Daryl. Amos is Michonne. Love it. We've been doing different characters every night. It's great. Hello there. It is many hours later. It is now like 11:30 at night. It was a pretty busy day at work, not gonna lie. It was busier than I thought it was gonna be. The sunset was so goddamn beautiful today, but today was literally the hottest day of the year so far in my county because it got up to 96 degrees. Like, what in the heck? And we knew it was gonna be the hottest day in the county today. They've been preparing us like all week. They're like, there's a heat wave this weekend, and yeah, it sucked being at work, you know, when it's this hot, because I work in a pizza restaurant, so the pizza ovens are 400 degrees. So when you're standing next to the ovens literally for your entire shift, in that spot right next to the ovens, like, it is so ridiculously hot. So I was drinking lots of water though. I was good. And anyways, I listened to more of the audiobook on my way to and from work, and now I got to page 120. It's just been a lot of, you know, this young boy Luke trying to figure out like what the heck the institute is and trying to figure out what's going on. And I am really enjoying it so far. I will say, I hope it doesn't get too like boring with like just the kids kind of like hanging out at the institute. Like, I hope it just kind of picks up with more action soon. And I also kind of hope the villainous characters in this book don't become too like cheesy, over the top villains, you know what I mean? Like, I hope they have a really interesting purpose. I hope that it's like written well and it's like actually really creepy and terrifying and horrible and not just like kind of cheesy. So that's what we're hoping for. So tonight I am planning on reading a lot more of this tonight. I might fuck around and listen to the audiobook and read the book physically. Like, I don't know, I might do both. I might put a face mask on because I've been wanting to wear a face mask, and I've had this one for so long and I just haven't used it. So I think I'm gonna use it tonight, and I don't work tomorrow, so I don't have any reason to like go to bed early tonight. I'm just gonna stay up reading this book for quite some time. It is the next morning, and last night I stayed up pretty late until like 1:30 or so reading this book, and I got to page 249. So I did read quite a bit last night. I was kind of going back and forth between reading this physically and then listening to the audiobook while I was kind of reading it with my eyeballs, and then just like going straight to the audiobook and just kind of staring at the ceiling. And I kind of had a late start to my morning because it's now 11:30 and I just crawled out of bed because I've had like the worst fucking cramps all morning and I just kind of want to die. So I just ordered Sherry's on DoorDash because I just really want some pancakes, because pancakes just sound like they're just gonna make my life so much better right now. As far as the book is going, I'm finding it to be okay. It's really slow, I feel like, so far. It's still kind of like the same thing that I was talking about last time, where they're just doing all these different tests on this kid. They're trying to figure out if he's a TK or a what was it, TS? No, TK or TP, because they think he has some kind of like telepathy skills, but he's saying that he doesn't, but he thinks he's like starting to discover them, because they're doing these like tests on him with these memory cards. Like they're like, what's on this card? And he's like, I don't know, but he was able to figure out what was on 2 of the cards out of 4 of them. So he thinks he's starting to develop these like telepathy skills. And it's like a lot of like them kind of like torturing him during these tests and stuff, and it's a lot of just like the kids like hanging out at the institute and trying to figure out like who's gonna be the next one. Oh, sorry, that was my DoorDash. Then it's also a lot about that lady Maureen, who's like trying to save money for her kid that's like in college, but then her husband is like trying to like take the money from her or something, like, and then like Luke is trying to help her like get a lawyer or something. Like, I don't know, like that part of the storyline just kind of feels so random, honestly, and it's kind of like boring the hell out of me. So like, I don't know, I'm just kind of waiting for something to happen to these kids and like in this situation. I don't know where it's going. But yeah, anyways, I think my DoorDash food is here, so I'm just gonna listen to the audiobook while I eat this morning, and then hopefully take some medicine and not die of cramps this morning.
Face terrified him. Tonight, he didn't speak the word aloud, only mouthed it with a hand at the side of his face, scratching below his eye.
Hello, it is now 12:30. I'm laying here with Tank, and it's been about an hour, you know, and I just took a shower, and I don't think all of that food was such a great idea, because my stomach was like, what the fuck are you doing? Now I'm jumping back into the institute.
He slept when one of them beds to check out a John Deere garden tractor enough 4 feet from where Luke lay, or happened dead to the world. He slept when they left from the yard with his clothes and southeast, this time all the way. He slept through the thud and thump of new cars being added, and stirred just slightly when a new engine replaced 1497.
Hell is waiting. Tank, hell is waiting. He just escaped. Holy shit. I just got to the part where Maureen hung herself. But did she actually though? I don't know. What the heck, man? That's sad. I really liked Maureen. Oh, shit. She left a message. Hell is waiting. I'll be here to meet you. That is crazy. So I just got to page 355, and I just got to the section called Hell is Here. Like the part that I just finished reading, Luke was like on the train, and then he jumped off the train and like smacked his head into something, and then his ear that's already been like damaged is like bleeding again. And then he runs into Tim, which is the guy from the beginning, which like I've been waiting for this whole book to figure out how that guy from the beginning, Tim, was like gonna connect into the story. And I think this is how he's connecting, but I'm confused because somebody just called like the institute and told them where Tim is, or where Luke is. So now I'm like, okay, is Tim gonna be like the one to save Luke? Like, because I feel like Tim is one of the good guys, you know, like he wouldn't let this kid go back to this place if he knew what it was about. So I'm kind of hoping that Tim can get involved somehow and like save Luke, because Luke has just been through so much. And but yeah, things are definitely starting to pick up. It's definitely intense. What the heck? It says Jor Almond's show is called The Outsiders. Is this connected to The Outsiders in some way? Who the heck is George Almond? I feel like I'm missing something here. I think this is related to The Outsiders somehow, and I haven't read The Outsiders, so now I'm like, shit. Oh my gosh. Now a few pages later, she's like, there's a town in Maine, Jerusalem's Lot, and they can tell you about the men in the black cars. Like, what the heck? I mean, I know Stephen King's universe is like all connected, but like, oh my gosh, Salem's Lot reference. And she brought up the George Alman guy again, which I'm pretty sure he's from The Outsider. I just like, I've seen some of The Outsider TV show, but I haven't read the book, so I can't remember. But like, shoot, I hope this doesn't spoil anything from The Outsider. It has been a couple of hours since I have stopped reading, and I just didn't update you about anything. It's like 5 o'clock at night right now, and I haven't read anything since like 2:30 because my mom came over and dropped off some stuff, and then I had to film a YouTube video today because I realized today was my only day off that I could film it, so I had to get that done. So yeah, now it's like 5 o'clock at night, and I've just been sitting here for the last 30 minutes just like not reading, but I am going to jump back into it now. I don't know if I ever updated you on where I was at, but I'm on page 364 right now, so I do feel like I'm making really good progress in this book today. I'm probably just gonna throw some dinner in the oven right now and just listen to the audiobook as I like get dinner ready and stuff, but I'm really enjoying it. It's like finally the guy Tim's chapters are starting to merge with Luke, and they're like coming together. This book kind of reminds me of like Dr. Sleep in a way, but like not as boring, you know, at least with the sense of like this guy Tim kind of reminds me of like Danny in a way, and then like Luke kind of reminds me of Abra. Is that what that was her name was? Abra in Dr. Sleep, like the young girl. It kind of does give me Stranger Things vibes too though, because I feel like this guy Tim is also kind of like giving me Hopper vibes, you know, and then Luke obviously gives me 11 vibes for sure. But like, I don't know, it's good so far. It's I feel like it's building towards something.
Encourage Steven. Who wants a cigarette before the show? Avery said, so how can we build a castle? A wall. She gets it, Avery thought. Thank God she gets it. She started to speak. We're closer.
I have to keep making dinner right now because I have stuff in the oven, but oh my gosh, I just got to that part where they watched Maureen's like thumbnail drive that she gave to Luke before she like killed herself, and she's saying how like if you can get past all of these obstacles, then like you can bring the Institute to life and like all of this shit, and he's watching it with like the entire police department there. So like, whoa, things are really starting to get interesting. And I don't know, it is reminding me so much of Dr. Sleep, but also that one book by Josh Mallerman, I can't remember what it's called, but the one, it's like Inspection or like whatever that one is called. It's reminding me a lot of that. Heck, this asparagus is frozen. It's starting to pick up, and I'm just gonna continue listening to the audiobook while I'm finishing up getting this dinner ready.
24. Orphan Annie was a baseball fan, and she usually spent warm summer evenings in her tent. 26. The power the kids generated dropped when Nikki let go of Felicia's and George's hands, but only a little. Because the others were gathered behind her before the ability to think goes down, TP to TK goes up. And the ones behind that door have almost no lines left. That's right, Avery said. That's how it works. They're the battery. Nikki's head was clear. Absolutely no pain.
It has been many hours since I last updated you. It's now like 11:30 at night, and I have read quite a bit more, I think, since I last updated you. I don't remember exactly where I was last time, but I'm on page 444 right now. So I only have this chunk left, so I'm thinking maybe I can finish it tonight, because I think this book is only like 550 or 560 pages, so I only have a little bit more than 100 pages left, so I might try to finish it right now. Part of me kind of wants to like savor it a little bit and maybe finish it tomorrow, but I might not be able to control myself, because depending on how good it's gonna pick up right now, like I could just like want to beast through this and end it right now, because I don't know, this book is definitely starting to pick up. It's starting to get intense. It's kind of at that part where they're figuring out like what the Institute is, and Tim was just like shooting people. It was like crazy. I might finish this right now. I don't know. I think I'm gonna go back and forth again between reading it physically and listening to the audiobook, because the audiobook is really good, if I do say so. Like the guy that narrates it is really good at narrating like different kinds of voices. Like I was thinking like in one of the scenes, I was like, wait, is this a different narrator? And I checked, and it's the same guy narrating the entire audiobook, but he does like really good like southern female accents, and he sounds so convincing. And I don't know, he kind of gives each of the characters like a unique style of sounding voice. so it's like really easy to tell apart the characters. And I don't know, I just think this narrator on the audiobook is doing a fantastic job. He's keeping me very hooked into the story. So yeah, I kind of have an early morning tomorrow, but I do want to try and bust this out tonight because it's really good right now. So I'm on page 525 and I'm sad because Avery just died. He was one of my favorite characters in this book, so I'm depressed. They just had that scene where they were able to communicate with like the other institutes in the world, and they all kind of like came together and realized like their power together. And I'm like, is this like a metaphor about the world, you know, and how like if the world came together and used its resources for the greater good of like all humans, like how powerful we would be if we just united all together instead of like separating ourselves. Like, I don't know, maybe I'm like reading into it too much, but I feel like this is like a metaphor about like the world. And this is really good. This is really intense. It's like 12:40 in the morning right now, and I wasn't planning on staying up this late reading it, but like I can't put it down because it's so action-packed right now. So I think I'm just gonna finish it right now.
Save some for later.
The Institute was written by Stephen King.
It's 1 a.m. I just finished the book and it was really good. And I have a lot of thoughts and emotions, but it's really late at night, so I'm gonna go to bed and I will talk to you tomorrow about my final thoughts. Hello there. It has been a full 24 hours pretty much since I finished the book, and I've had all day to really think about like what my final thoughts are on this book. And at the end of the day, I really enjoyed this book. Like, I am really surprised by how much I enjoyed this. And I think I'm gonna end up giving this book 4 stars, which is pretty high for me when it comes to like rating Stephen King. Honestly, this book kind of does feel like reminiscent of like his 80s style of writing. I mean, granted, I haven't read too much Stephen King, so I can't really speak on this, and I haven't read a lot of his newer published books either, but I do think that this book feels very like reminiscent of his 80s kind of books. It, you know, follows like this group of kids and they're like rebelling against like the adult systems, you know, like it just feels very like his older stuff, I guess. It feels kind of reminiscent of it. I will say though, this book kind of like at times it felt like it was written by Stephen King at times, and then other times it kind of felt like this was like one of those like young adult sci-fi like cliche tropey kind of books, because I feel like this is the premise of like every young adult book ever. And so, I mean, as far as premises go, I guess, it's not super unique. This book was still something that was like entertaining as hell. I could not put this book down, and I was surprised by that because usually with Stephen King, they're the kind of books that I can like take my time with. But with this one, I just felt like I needed to get to the next chapter to like figure out what was gonna happen. And I will say the only characters in this book that I truly like cared about so much was Maureen, Luke, and Tim. Tim was really awesome. He really reminded me of like Hopper from Stranger Things, you know? He just gave those vibes like he's a really cool and chill person, but he like protects the people he loves, you know? And he doesn't hold back when it comes to that, and I really like that about his character. And this is probably my favorite characters in a Stephen King book since I read 11/22/63. Because I feel like with Stephen King, I usually enjoy his like plot and his writing and his ideas more than his characters for some reason. But with this book, I feel like it had it all, you know, like I really liked the plot and I really liked the characters and I was rooting for the characters. I don't feel like the ending was like that great. Like, I don't know, like it was okay for the ending. I guess I was just expecting a little bit more from the ending. I don't know, I really enjoyed this. This book made me think a whole lot. I liked a lot of the digs at Donald Trump in this book. It's just very relevant for the times. Yeah, I don't know, I enjoyed this. It was fun. Like, I don't think this book is as horror as, you know, Goodreads probably claims that it is, because I know that this book won horror on Goodreads, and I don't really think that this book is that much horror. It definitely feels more like sci-fi kind of vibes to me, and just like action, a little bit adventure type of story. You know, it's not it's not very horror in my opinion, at least especially compared to like some of Stephen King's other stuff. But I swear Stephen King could like write a romance novel and he would win the horror category on Goodreads, you know, that's just like how it is. But yeah, I am very surprised by this one, and I'm glad that I actually enjoyed this, because I was pretty nervous going into this one just because of the fact that people were describing that it's kind of like a young adult, you know, dystopian kind of novel vibes like that. And while I do definitely pick up on those vibes, it still definitely had that Stephen King touch to it, which I really liked. And I really adored these characters, and I'm just gonna be thinking about this book for a while. So woo, another Stephen King book is done and complete, and I feel so alive. If you've made it this far, I hope you've read the book. Please let me know what you think about the book. If you've read it, like, where does this rank on the Stephen King scale for you? I definitely think this one is up there for me. I mean, obviously my god tier #1 faves are still like Pet Sematary, 11/22/63, and The Shiny's up there for me, and Salem's Lot is pretty high up there too. But like The Institute definitely goes up there. I think if this book was a little bit more on the horror side, I think I would have enjoyed it even more. But this was a fun book. This was different for Stephen King, I feel like, and I enjoyed it. Alright, that is all for this video, so thank you guys so much for watching as always, and I will see you very soon with another vlog. Bye!